Hello and welcome to Talk the Line, a conversational podcast from the line of Best Fit. You start with the name and then you work backwards. The Line of Best Fit is the UK's biggest independent website for new music discovery. You can check it out at thelineofbestfit.com and you can follow us on Twitter at BestFitMusic. I'm Jen Long. I used to be a niche radio celebrity and now I'm resigned to podcasting. In Talk the Line, we talk to artists, musicians and celebrities about the things that matter to them, their passions and their obsessions, things that they don't normally get to expand upon in a 20-minute album cycle PR slot. So we go deep into conversation for up to an hour with some really interesting people to find out what makes them tick. This week, I'm talking to Douglas Dare. Douglas Dare grew up in Bridgewater, a small town near the Dorset coast, and was introduced to music by his piano teacher mother. As a child, he lived in a house just down the street from PJ Harvey, whose album White Chalk convinced Douglas that music made on a piano could be cool. After studying music at university in Liverpool, Douglas signed to Erased Tapes, the label synonymous with fellow pianist and composer Niels Frahm. His first record, Whelm, came out in 2014 and was followed by last year's A Forger, a much darker collection of songs than his debut. A Forger was written as a response to a relationship breakup, as well as Douglas's experience of coming out to his father. The Quieters have called Douglas an artist who genuinely has something to say about what it feels like to be alive in these times. While his music is often introspective and understated, Douglas has a big personality that comes to life when he talks about one of his true passions, drag. How shall I introduce you? Douglas Dare?
Yeah.
I guess that's your stage name.
No, that's my real name.
Is that your actual name?
Yeah, it's my real name. And
You're legit called Douglas Dare?
For all my life, it's been, is that your actual... As soon as someone finds out when it's... Or my manager, actually, I think for 6 months. It wasn't until we were in a sort of three-way conversation with someone and they said the same thing as you've just said, and my manager said, yeah, it's a stage name. And I was like, no, that is my actual name. He's like, what? I really just assumed, I just didn't want to ask what your real name was. I just thought, yeah, that's what you want to be known. No, it's kind of a curse in a way, because it's almost like, if I was going to choose a stage name, I don't think it would be like this comic book hero character.
I was going to say, it's like in The Simpsons when Homer's like, Max Power!
Yeah, it sounds like that, exactly. Yeah. I know, yeah.
Oh, that's incredible.
So it's my real name, and I've, for a long time I've been going through so many different drag names as well, because I've already got a name that seems kind of already like a stage name.
Well, I was going to ask whether I should introduce you by your drag name.
Basically it's been changing a lot recently. I feel like I'm at that stage where it's nothing sticking. But for a long time it was Lunar Landing. That was my name for a long time. And then
that's really good.
Yeah, and I enjoyed that for a long time. And people always liked it, but then I just thought Luna felt a bit too ethereal, and I felt like my drag character was just a bit more of a bitch, and I just didn't think Luna really kind of got into it. But I thought I actually came back to my name because my friend calls me D, and I really like Candy Darling, one of the Andy Warhol superstars. And so I thought I would call myself, use my own initials, DD, and be DD Darling, which felt like it had a bit of class to it, but could be a real bitch at the same time. Yeah. So far, that's been the current, yeah. So people could just call me D, and it would be, because that's the thing when you go out and someone says, well, what's your name? I think for a while it's kind of difficult to sort of be like, I'm Luna, and it suddenly feels, it doesn't feel quite. So I just want to, I'm D, And
it kind of makes me think of Harry Potter.
Well, there's a character in there called Luna, isn't there?
And it's that kind of spacey sort of like wigged out kind of name.
Yeah, and so as much as I loved the name, and I was really proud of it. I was like, Lunar Landing felt really cool, but it wasn't my other persona.
Because that seems to be like a thing to me as an outsider for the drag world, is everyone seems to have these amazing puns for names, and puns are like one of my favourite things in the world. Oh yeah. And there's some fantastic ones. There's also some very not okay ones that I've heard.
You can think of some not okay ones.
I can think of some not okay ones which I should not be laughing about.
Oh, okay.
If you know what I mean.
Really close to the edge.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I mean, in a way, and many people will tell you that drag is what that's all about. A bit, it's a bit like if you can't. It's a I don't know. It's a commentary on life, on people's lives.
So explain to me what drag means to you, because I mean, I kind of have like this this ongoing sort of daily flirtation with drag in that I work for the team who produced Sink the Pink.
Yeah.
So I work with Glyn Glimfamous on a daily basis, but not with his wig on.
Right.
I work with Glyn.
Yeah. Okay.
But then it sort of opened me up to this world of all these other drag stars, and these names are thrown around in the office, and it's absolutely fascinating to me. But then I also feel like I never want to pry too much because I'm never sure what are the okay questions to ask, like whether I'm, like I only found out recently that tranny is actually really offensive.
Yeah.
Luckily, I hadn't said it myself, but all these sort of things where you just worry that you're going to put your foot in it.
Yeah, I mean, that's interesting. To me, I think drag is about being able to put your foot in it if you want to, because I feel like if you're able to get up and be a different persona, which is, for me, that's what drag is. It's not necessarily about being a woman. I think people are now getting to the stage where they're kind of differentiating between being a female impersonator, a drag performer, drag artist, because it seems to be like, it's quite broad. But for me, it's just like a joy to be able to put another outfit on, put a different look on, and be another part of myself that I'm not normally, or just a heightened part of myself. And as soon as I did that, I immediately thought, like, everyone needs to do this. Like, if I ever had children, I would say to them, you need to do this. It's almost like a therapy. It's like you can be something else. So I say it to, I meet all my friends, women included, straight, gay, whatever. I say to them, you're going to do drag. And I have done it to a lot of friends already. Like, I'm putting you in drag.
So a woman can dress in drag?
Yeah, absolutely.
So how would I dress as a drag queen?
Well, you could be if you want to be a drag queen, you could be dressed up like an ultra sort of feminine woman if you wanted to, and do like kind of, or you could be a drag king and go and do the male thing. Obviously,
so that's what I've always dressed up as guys whenever I've gone to Sink the Pinks,
which is great,
and I really enjoy it.
Yeah, which is fantastic.
It just feels very frivolous to me, though. I feel like I maybe kind of downplaying what it means to a lot of other people, because to me it just feels really fun and throwaway, where I'm like, lol, look, I look like a dude. Like last one I went as a Ken of Barbie and Ken.
That's great.
And I strapped this fake plastic chest to my chest. I wasn't even wearing a bra. I was so excited.
So you didn't go the whole hog and duct tape your tits underneath your armpits?
I mean, they're not that big.
Because you could do that. But I mean, I would say to you,
they just stay there. Honestly, that's padding.
And it could be pecs.
They could, no, it was like a plastic like stick-on chest. Okay. So I used gaffer tape and stuck it to my skin around, like folded it over, like kind of when you used to watch Blue Peter and then try and make your own sticky back plastic.
Here's what I made earlier.
Yeah.
Well, my like challenge to you would then be, challenge if you wish to take it, would be to actually do like a drag queen look, and glue down your eyebrows and like.
Sorry, glue down my eyebrows.
Yeah, get a Pritt stick, glue down your eyebrows. This is what my other girlfriends were like when I was talking about it. Glue them down, and then so you can draw some. Glue them down because we want to cover them up, and then we want to draw them higher up your forehead, because obviously all biological women have eyebrows right up to their hairline, as you know.
Okay, so I would hide my eyebrows with Pritt stick.
Well, you glue them down to keep them flat, and then you cover them with powder, and then you glue them again, and then you dry them with a hairdryer, and then you put. It's a long, long laborious process. But
can you walk me through how you create your look, or one of your looks?
Yeah. Well, the first thing is about gluing down those eyebrows, which is, or sometimes you don't have to. I mean, basically, I'm just trying lots of different things, but I'm still of the mind that I still want to look like a beautiful woman. I still have that in me, and I feel like when I've talked to other drag performers, like there was a stage where you kind of want to tick that box of looking like a gorgeous woman, and you kind of want to get the compliments and feel like you look gorgeous, and then maybe later on you might think, I want to look like a clown.
Right.
That's for me. That for me is still I still am torn to doing that. So I glue down the eyebrows, and then I do the whole contouring of the face, so I can try and bring out, you want cheekbones that will cut someone. You want, big, huge lips. You want all of these things that they're kind of stereotypical things about. Look at like Jessica Rabbit, for example. This kind of archetypal figure of a very sexy woman.
Yeah.
Cartoon is a really good example of that. It's not meant to be real. Some drag queens do want to do what's called like femme realness or fishy,
Fishy?
Like, fishy, would mean like... Fishy means that you look like a woman. So fishy, because fishy, presumably because of the smelly, fishy fanny, which is obviously... obviously not technically true. Not that I wouldn't know.
No.
But I mean,
oh my god.
But that's where it comes from. I mean, there's loads of drag terminology that it's silly. It's silly. But I'm just saying that's how a lot of people understand that lingo.
Fishy, I can't get over that now.
But
is that really what gay men think about vaginas?
No, I think yeah, maybe. Yes.
Oh, I used to live with a woman, a couple actually. The lady in the couple, she was from Eastern Europe, and her English wasn't fantastic, and there was always a bottle of Femme Fresh by the shower, and I wasn't ever sure whether she just had a problem or whether she just thought it was like shower gel for women, and I feel like it may have been the latter, but I didn't want to bring it up.
I was just thinking, I think I've shaved with Femme Fresh before. For lack of anything that had like, something that would glide. Something that's like, no shaving foam, Femme Fresh it is.
Why do you own Femme Fresh?
I don't own Femme Fresh. Oh, it's all part of the drag. It's all part of the drag. It starts in the shower. And then you move on to the eyebrows. And then, but yeah, I've tried lots of different looks, but the happiest I have been, to be honest, so far has been when I thought like, I look like a sexy woman, like, because that feels like, now I feel like I've ticked that box, sort of. I'm ready to I want to do more avant-garde looks, because it gets exciting, because after a while I think, being creative, you don't want to just do the same thing over and over again. You kind of want to just see what you can do. And makeup, for some reason, is kind of a strong point of mine. My mum never wore makeup. I bought makeup only recently, and I was quite good at it immediately, and I was like, oh, this is right.
Can you take me back to the sort of first time that you had a little liaison with drag? I mean, does it stem from your kind of like, is it one of those like childhood things where your mum would catch you playing with her heels or something? I don't know.
Well,
is it something that you've kind of developed?
That is a cliche, but it's probably exactly true with me. I was thinking about this earlier before you came, because I thought, when was the first time I actually did a bit of drag? I know that one of the very few pictures I have of me as a child, because there is hardly any, because lots of them got lost in the fire, is me with a pink tutu on at the age of 3. Because I lived on a farm, so wearing Wellington boots, pink tutu, nothing on my top, and I think I've got a spade in my hand, or I'm shoveling, or like I'm just doing some kind of farm activity. I
mean, that's quite a look.
Yeah, exactly. And I think my father is in the background, and he's in his full boiler suit with beard and kind of really rough and ready. And I was I obviously felt I was like a princess. But actual drag, well, does this count? I think when I was about 8 or 9, my brothers and I, we used to do performances for our parents, like of an evening. And I used to wear a dressing gown, and I would like wear it backwards and use the arms to tie around my waist to make a dress, and I get a towel, like a turban, to make a kind of wig. And I would perform, and I would sort of do impressions, and I would always be a woman. To me, at that age, I didn't think it was drag. Yeah. But when I look back, I just think I was always dressing up as a woman. I always had a fascination with it. So, I think that was it. And then the first time I properly did drag was Bestival in 2006 or 7. They have that Sunday.
Yeah, I mean the Sunday dress up parade.
Which
fancy dress
which
parade.
Probably every guy is dressed up at drag at some point. However, I think I took it that little bit more seriously. And I had the wig, and I was
and doing that on the 3rd day of a festival.
Oh yeah, and you stank, and you hadn't, there's so much you hadn't done.
And surely, I'm guessing you didn't have like mirror and etc.
No, you're right. No mirror.
How did you pull that off?
I don't remember, but I've seen the pictures. But I was a geisha as well. So white face, the black eyeliner, the red lip, the wig, wearing this. Yeah, and that was my first like drag experience, I suppose. But even then, it was just like, I guess it was the fancy dress context. But I think so many drag queens say that fancy dress has often been the initiating kind of... The
gateway.
Yes.
Fancy dress is the gateway to drag.
Yeah.
I love fancy dress though, because it's kind of, I suppose, like wearing a mask in the sense that it's that liberating, where you feel like you can push yourself a bit further and get away with a little bit more, and it's sort of like escapism.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's what everyone gets from doing it. And that's why I say that everyone should do it, because I think there's lots of people that I've met people and I think you've never done that. I don't think I met someone in one of the local bars, one of the nights called Savage, which is a really popular gay night in Bethnal Green, and was I wearing drag? I was wearing kind of like what we call boy drag, which is kind of like I'm wearing boy clothes but like a bit of makeup, maybe some earrings, so it's like a bit of like everything, but you wouldn't say you would look like a woman necessarily. And then this man who was wearing a suit, had a pint in his hand, and he looked like he hadn't been there before, but he thought I should check this out. And he came up to me and he said, like, why are you dancing like that? Or why are you dancing like, I mean, I was kind of like, provocatively dancing, or just, I'm very enthusiastic when I go out because I really like to let loose. And I said to him, do something embarrassing in front of me. And he was like, huh? And I was like, just do a dance move that you think is weird, that's uncomfortable for you. Like, do something. And I think I don't know, he did like something that wasn't really uncomfortable at all, but he thought it was. And I was like, okay, do that, but like times 10. And he did something, and then he really laughed, and I was like, I said, there you go. I'm trying to do something I'm just trying to break all the constructs of like being like, I have to dance a certain way, or all the things that I was brought up with in a very small town. And I just said to him, just try and do something you feel uncomfortable with, and maybe that might make you feel freer. And I think that's what drag was for me. It's like, I feel so free now being able to do this.
It does feel like it's quite in vogue at the moment, or over recent years. There seems to have been a bit of not even a resurgence, a surgence. Yeah,
no, that's absolutely right. And in a way, I think some people I know kind of don't like it in a way. I mean, we probably can't talk about drag without talking about the mega program that everyone watches, RuPaul's Drag Race, which has kind of, really inspired so many young people, and that's great. But I know that some people who were doing drag before that kind of almost are a bit like, oh, well, you didn't, they're kind of a bit like looking down at people who find their influences just from that program. And I kind of understand that, because people who've, maybe done drag for longer or had influences from a much vaster spectrum might think, well, you're just following a trend, know. But we actually, we've got these influences that go back all this time, and we've done it since I was in diapers or whatever, But the truth is, I think it's great that people get to do it. But there certainly has been a real surge in it.
I suppose it's kind of like when you have your favourite band and you followed them, through thick and thin, and they get to like the first or second album, and then they get really popular, and suddenly everyone's a fan.
Exactly.
And you lose that thing that made them personal to you, and it kind of feels like it sort of feels like everyone's kind of taking a little bit of you. Yeah. Something that made you special, something that made you who you are, and suddenly everyone else has it.
And you feel like, you don't really understand this. You don't know that terrible first album they had, or or great first album.
You never heard the demos.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's exactly right. So I think there's examples of that in everything, but there is the kind of like the flip side of it is, or the negative side of it is, that sometimes when I go out, there is, because I'm a relatively new drag queen in that sometimes I'm reluctant to call myself a drag queen. It's more like I'm experimenting with drag, and I happen to have done it a lot before in different ways. I find that sometimes I go into a club and there's this kind of attitude that goes on between like a group of people that maybe have been doing it for a long time, and then kind of the new people. And unfortunately, as inclusive as people may think that the gay community is, because actually I find it can be quite divided, and kind of I know I've experienced kind of going into gay environments, maybe in drag or boy drag or whatever, and kind of being kind of looked down upon or given a bit of the cold shoulder, because it's like, oh, you, like that attitude that I was talking about, like, oh, you're not really this, and you're just following on the bandwagon. And that's the only negative sort of side of it that I've experienced.
I mean, it does also feel like it is at this time it does feel way more, and this could just totally be the like, when you always live in your like social media bubble and you don't really know, you're in like East London and it's liberal and like everyone's a bit gay. And, you work in the media, so literally everyone's a bit gay. And like it does feel like more and more it's far more accepting, or it's far more acceptable to be LGBTQ. Like that, and it feels like it is kind of like an edge of cooler. I don't know, that like when I talk to younger people, they're just so open about it. Whereas when I was growing up, it was like, and of course it still is now, it's a huge deal to come out. But at the same time, my friends would never talk that openly about being gay. Whereas now it's just all over Twitter, like all these kids are just so, like, oh yeah, everyone's a bit gay kind of thing. And maybe that's just me and my little East London gay bubble, but it does feel like it's kind of something that people are discussing, I suppose, is what I want to say.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely right. And I've been thinking that for a long time. Although very recently I kind of found out that it wasn't as accepting as perhaps I thought. Just because I went into Soho, kind of, a place where I thought, this is going to be really...
And it's Soho.
And it's Soho, yeah. Like the gay black capital. And I was in drag, and I hadn't yet really experienced kind of abuse in drag yet. I hadn't, and I don't want to make it negative, but it's part of it. It's still, I was with a friend, and people wanted, supposedly like to hurt us. They were kind of like, they were calling us tranny or what, and beating the side of the walls as they were coming towards us, and it was scary,
That's terrifying.
And I had been in the bubble of East London thinking, I'm gay, it's fine, I live in a very accepting world, I can walk down the street, hold my hands with my boyfriend, and that's fine. And it was a bit of a wake-up call. I was like, oh, no, it's not as accepting as, I once thought maybe. But generally, I know I came from a really small place where I didn't even know I was gay because of the environment I lived in. It was so, oppressed. But I'm so thankful for moving. I first moved to Liverpool, and then I moved to London, and I was able steadily to realise, I still feel, despite any kind of negativity, I still feel very free and able to do this. I feel highly privileged that I can go outside with a pair of 8-inch heels, a wig, and loads of slap on, and be any kind of character I want. I feel highly privileged to be able to do that.
Yeah. Can you talk me through some of your looks? Have you got any pictures or anything that you can show me so I can
get
a
bit of an
visual
idea?
Yeah.
So I very recently started an Instagram because, I started it, when I went to Sink the Pink in 2014, I was like, I'm starting an Instagram, I'm a drag queen now. and then music, all my music stuff kind of was, I had no time to do anything else but my music. And, but recently again, I thought, I'm gonna start this. So let me see if I can find. So I'm called Queen Dee Darling, Dididd. It was Victoria Adams last week though, because I went to a Spice Girls karaoke night, and I introduced myself as Victoria Adams, which is Victoria Beckham's maiden name, because I was in a Victoria Beckham drag. So. This is I think the pink look. This is one of my first times in drag. Okay. So this is, when was this? 25th of June 2015. This is one of the looks.
Oh my goodness, I would not recognise you whatsoever.
And that's a really key thing. I like to not be recognised at all.
So you look really tall, and in real life it's not like you're short.
I'm short. Say it.
You're like the same height as me. You look really tall here, and you have like rainbow. What do you call it? Eye mascara? No.
Eyelids. Eyeshadow.
Eyeshadow, yeah. Thank you. Gosh, I'm so bad at makeup. And you have beautiful fingernails and incredibly long blonde hair, which looks like it's been buzz cut also.
Yeah, I had a shaved head, and I sort of crafted this kind of, I got all these hair extensions and made it into a really long kind of, almost like a tail of a horse.
Very high eyebrows. I understand now why you needed to hide the originals.
Yeah.
And rainbow coloured hair and some kind of Hawaiian flower.
Yeah, I can't remember what the theme was for that night, but I mean that was one of the that night I was a bit of a rookie and I didn't wear any powder on my face.
Right, okay.
And that meant by half an hour into being at the Troxy, my face was on my chest because it had all kind of like melted and slided down.
I mean, it doesn't look like melted.
No, but that's the start of the night. That's the key. That's the key to any good drag picture is take it.
Also, a lot of shading.
Oh yeah.
A lot of.
Yeah.
What do you call the stuff that you put here? Blusher?
Well, yeah. Am I wearing blusher? Yeah, bronzer, blusher. It's contour, but it's just like a lot of dark. As I said, you want to look like you can cut someone with your cheekbones. So this is a more recent look. This is I'll show you this one. This
wow! Okay. You look like a drag mu. You know the pop star?
Oh, like mu.
Yeah.
Oh, mu. Okay.
Yeah, you look like a drag mu.
Okay.
Great abs, by the way.
Oh, thank you very much.
And a string vest.
Yeah.
Is that your actual nipples?
Those are my nipples.
Those are your nipples. Okay. So I like it. It's like half and half.
Yeah. I was wearing. That was a bit lazy. I didn't tuck that night either. So.
How do you tuck your nipples?
No. Tuck my penis. I mean.
Oh.
I hadn't tucked my penis.
Is it that big?
No. What? It goes up to my nipples? No, I mean. Those are actually my balls. Those pink things are my balls. No. I hadn't tucked my penis. That was a bit lazy.
Can you see your penis through your skirt, or?
I
just thought it would kind of I don't know, just.
No.
No.
You need to put your balls. Like they have these sockets that you have naturally, so men can put their ball. They kind of when you're cold, sometimes they kind of retract in there.
Okay.
You kind of push them. It's not a comfortable thing at all. You push them up inside those sockets, and then you get duct tape and you tape down the penis sort of, and you bring the tape up through your butt cheeks, and then it kind of can come up like halfway through your back.
Do you have to get waxed?
It is recommended to not have hair there because when to take it off at the end of the night.
Oh God, sorry, a shiver just went through me.
Yeah, it was when I can't remember where I was, but I had to go to the toilet, which is the worst thing. If you need to go for a wee, and you've put your penis away, like you have to undo it all. And so I think by the time I needed to go for a wee I was already that far gone that I didn't care that I had a bulge in my dress, so it didn't matter. And to be honest, I was feeling a bit dizzy because it was I'd done a especially.
I mean, do the balls stay up there? Do they ever pop out?
Yeah, they can do. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, whoops, sorry.
Is it if you're doing a particularly extravagant dance move? Do you ever feel a little?
Or just walking and just being like, oh shit, or someone tell you like.
Oh, do you wear quite short skirts?
Yeah, I do. So and then this is the most recent one I did and this is my my drag sister Jordan. We kind of started it together in that we kind of started at the same time, and we're polar opposites in the way we look in many ways. But yeah, anyway,
okay.
So in this picture you can see Jordan.
Wow.
So and I did most of her makeup, and she's wearing my Victoria Adams wig.
Yes, it's beautiful.
Yeah, and then I'm doing this kind of clown
as well
look.
that she's got this a little bit of chest,
the chest hair. Just to remind everyone.
Yeah.
She's a boy.
And your makeup here, your lips are absolutely massive. How did you make them that big?
Well, gloss and overdrawing them is a really big part of it as well.
Actually, yeah, your eyebrows are basically in your hairline there.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're wearing a delightful red blazer, which I actually really like.
Ralph Lauren. Oh, whoops. Name drop. We just pick up that name. Sorry.
You kind of look a bit Pamela Anderson in this
one.
Oh,
really?
Yeah.
I'll take that as a huge compliment. Just because, it changes. And finally, this is why I did a Victoria Beckham. And this is me in Tesco.
Oh my God, I love it.
At 3 a.m.
To me, you look quite natural there, though.
Yes, because, I'll tell you why, because I was trying to look like Victoria Beckham in the Spice Girls. So those they're not my real eyebrows, but they're kind of, they're more in the real place.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I'm wearing a lot minimal makeup because I wanted to look more like a woman, but more like a real...
Also, is that a cucumber that you're clutching? Yes, it is. That's a suggestive... holding of a cucumber.
Yes. So yeah, there's but I think you can see from that I've never really done the kind of the same look twice. And in a way, I feel like there is a lot of drag queens out there now who kind of playing the social media game, and and all power to them, obviously, who kind of know to look a certain way every time, or kind of, and try and brand themselves. I think that's another part of it. I'm not interested in doing that. I really just want to have fun with it. I really just want to have fun and just be able to go out and be that other person.
And so you and your friend Jordan, what was the conversation where you first sort of discovered each other, had an interest in drag, and decided that you were going to go for it? And what did you do and where did you go?
Do you know what? That's a really good question. I mean, when did we first go? It's going to kill me that I can't remember. But I feel like we always, like and it's actually translated into the way we look as boys as well. I mean, Jordan already wore lipstick and blusher and kind of a bit of makeup day to day anyway.
Right. Okay.
I never did that before.
Yeah.
And I always used to wear black clothing, and now I'm much more interested. Sometimes I'll wear the earrings that I wear out in drag. I'll wear them when I go out to the post office, because I kind of almost enjoying that kind of like that crossover and realizing that you can get a bit of that excitement through it anyway. But we've only known each other for about a year and a half.
So this is actually quite new to you.
Well, as I say, the first drag I was doing there was 2014.
Right, of course, sorry.
So I've been doing it for a few years, but like with Jordan, like I think, I must have said to him like, oh come on, we need to do this, and that was it. I think we knew we were going to Manchester Pride,
right?
And so we both bought our first wigs. He's ginger and bought a almost floor length ginger wig, and I'm blonde and I bought the blonde equivalent. So we wanted to be that. We kind of wanted to like be the girl versions of ourselves, and we went to Manchester Pride and we challenged ourselves to only ever go outside in drag the whole time we were there. And so that's what we did for a few days, and we hadn't really hardly done it at all before, and it was Pride, and I hadn't really gone to a Pride before either. And I think that must have been the first time we properly went out and did it. And when I look back at those pictures, it's not great.
How so?
Well, I just feel like it's just not it. And I think almost anyone who's done drag will look back at the first images of themselves and go like, "Ooh, it wasn't right." It just
eyebrows not high enough.
Eyebrows not high enough, and like everything, something's too big, something's too small. Like, yeah, you just you think you look gorgeous at the time, and then you look back at the pictures and you go like, "Oh, no, not at all."
Can I ask? Was that the sort of first time that you'd gone for a long period in heels? And how was it a shock when you realised how fucking painful they are?
I'm going to say something. I think heels aren't painful as much as women make out them to be, because I want to show you my heels before you leave. Like,
okay. Well, show me now.
Well, I'm all wired up.
We can take that off. Do a show and tell.
Okay, right.
Let's bring in a few items that we can.
Right. So.
Okay.
Now these look really tame to me.
Oh my God! Plug yourself back in. Oh, bring in maybe some costume and some makeup as well.
My back.
Is that good for you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So the first thing I showed you was the shoe, which I got from a stripper website. It's brutal. I mean, you've seen they've been worn as well. And I went to Berlin for New Year's this last year, and this last New Year's, and I wore these for 13 hours. I mean.
Okay, so I'm gonna say that heel is nearly the size of my forearm. It's a massive black sort of patent platform heel boot.
Yeah, and that's the and it's kind of like laced up the front and a zip on the side.
That looks like a weapon.
Yeah, it is pretty crazy, and like I am quite short. I'm 5'10".
Oh, okay. You're a lot taller than me.
Oh, maybe I'm 5'9". and then like so
oh my
to put
God.
this on is a real like.
You just grew about a foot.
Yeah.
How high are they?
I think are they 8 inches, I think.
8.
Yeah, but so, and when I first got them, I thought, oh shit, because there's warnings on the website.
So you're now over 6 foot with those on.
Yeah, but annoyingly, my boyfriend is still taller than me when I wear them, which annoys me because I've always wanted to be tall. That was one thing about drag. I was like, I get to wear heels. I can be tall.
So how tall is your boyfriend?
Without
heels.
11 foot. I don't know. He's crazy. I know. I don't actually know. He's 6 foot 2, 6 foot 3. 6 foot 4.
So what were the warnings on the website for those shoes?
Oh well, they just said like, we take no responsibility for any accidents that might happen in these shoes, and it's a website where, because I've also got size 11 feet, so I can't go into New Look and buy and buy a little cute pair of heels. Like, I've got to buy, like, industrial...
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't going to say anything, but they are a little cyber goth.
Oh, yes, they are. But with the right outfit... Is that
what it's called?
I don't know.
Cyber dog?
I'm not sure of that
The Camden cyber dog.
But, I mean, maybe they look a bit gothy, but, like, with the right outfit, to me, by the time you're that high, no one's looking at your feet.
Have you never been to Cyberdog in Camden?
No.
Oh, okay. You should Google it.
Okay.
It's got that sort of like industrial goth kind of a crusty raver meets industrial goth vibe. I think they sell sex toys in there as well.
Nice. I'm up for that.
I haven't been since I was 15. I bought a T-shirt that said "No one knows I'm on drugs" from Camden Market, and my mum got so angry at me.
Oh gosh, I love that. So this is the Victoria Adams wig, but actually. Yeah, which is what Jordan was wearing the other night, and then I mean,
is this not real hair?
I can't afford real hair wigs, and to be honest, even like some of the biggest drag queens, like the most richest, well-paid drag queens who are very successful, don't wear real hair because it's like you're gonna hairspray it, you want it to hold its like.
Okay, I was gonna say, is it ethically questionable?
I don't know if drag queens think about that. No, probably some do. No, but I didn't think about that. But and they're cheap. Let's be honest.
Yeah. Take this with you. Okay, so this is a pretty.
That's quite a tame. That's a tame wig because I was being Victoria Adams.
Right, of course, yeah.
I mean, this one looks
God,
well, this one looks crazy because there's a fire alarm in it.
A fire alarm just
inside the wig. Yeah.
That looks like the Dulux dog.
This one was given to me at a party, which I've got a lot of wigs that were given to me / taken without permission. But no, I say taken without permission, but I mean, like, they put it on your head and they go, "You look great, darling, you look absolutely gorgeous," and then you say, like, "I'm wearing this home." Would you like to try this on?
Oh yeah, sure. Do I need to sit my head down or?
No, leave it up. Actually.
Oh, hang on. I've got quite thick hair that I'll warn you.
No, but I mean, this one's really loose and it's a bit crazy.
All right.
I mean, this is a bit out. I was about to say, it's a bit Einstein, isn't it? This one, this grey, like.
It is a bit Einstein.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I don't want to hurt you.
See, that's what I meant. My hair's so thick it doesn't get on my head.
No, but that's nice. It gives you.
Okay.
We've got a mirror here.
Oh wow!
Yes, grey suits you.
I look like Doc Brown.
Yes, it is a bit.
Quick, get the car, Marty!
This one is a bit wild because, I like this light colour on you. This is gorgeous. Thanks. But I mean, I've backcombed this to an inch of its life, so it's
a bit sear actually. Chandelier.
Yeah, cover your face. That's also a good.
Can't even see her. To get it.
Yeah, I get it. But if you're a particularly like manly man who wants to be a fishy drag queen, like get a sequel wig, cover the face, then she looks beautiful.
Gotcha.
And there's I've got a few very.
This one's beautiful.
Yeah, this is Jordan's ginger wig, but you see, he doesn't know how to look after wigs. I don't know how to look after them either, but. This one's a bit matted, but it's crazy long.
That is, and that's longer than my hair.
Oh yeah, it's about as long as my leg.
Yeah, it is.
And you can wear it on your leg if you want to.
How do you look after a wig?
Well, I've not been looking after it, but this is a lace front wig, this is a lace front wig, which is meant so they look terrible at the moment, but I need to give them a good wash and a good brush. But you can't wash them. Machine? You can do, yeah. Okay. You can, but I mean, I haven't. I actually think putting a washing machine is probably a really bad idea. You have to hand wash them and like be really gentle with them. But
so you wash them like you'd wash your hair,
but without shampoo. You can't use shampoo.
Very personal.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but I mean, the thing is, also I should point out, like, I'm a cheap queen, as in, like, I never wanted to invest too much money into my drag because, well. Yeah, because I felt like I just want to have fun with it. I never wanted to feel like I'd spent hundreds on something, and because I really just want to go out and have fun in it. Really.
Okay.
There may well come a time when I would love it to like maybe do like a glamorous photo shoot or something where I could be particularly gorgeous. But
I just want to stop the conversation and just remark that for the last 10 minutes you have been wearing a beautiful gold and black feather headdress.
Yes. Yeah, which I made myself.
I feel like it's been on for so long that it's just naturalised with the conversation now, but...
Yeah, but it's great fun. And I love having these things in my house because when people come over, do you want a cup of tea? Would you like to wear a headdress? You know, it's because it's fun. You know, it's just silly. And dress up is what I get out of it. The idea of dressing up. So
what are the kind of? I mean, I suppose to a lot of people, drag is the same thing as trans, but that's not the case.
No, not at all. No. Well, you can look at transgender is about gender. That's so that's just about whether someone believes that they are male or female. And some people are gender fluid and lots of other names beside. I'm no authority on the subject. But, you know, I identify as a male. But sometimes I go, oh, do I feel like a man? I don't know. But I've never questioned my gender. You know, I've never thought, like, do I want to be a woman? Or I've had people say to me before, quite seriously, like, do you think you might want to be a woman? Do you think you might be transgender?
To a lot of people, that's the logical step where it's like, he likes to dress as a woman, he therefore wants to be one.
Yeah, and that I can't speak on behalf of everyone, but, you know, certainly the drag queens that I know and have spoken to like doing drag because they like the experience and they like being able to take it off again. You know, like, I feel like, you know the saying, you only live once? I'm like, no, you don't. You can live as many times as you want, and you can live in different genders if you want to, you know. And I feel like, in a way, you almost feel like you're cheating life to a certain extent. Like, I can go out and I can be a gorgeous woman, or I can be a business woman, or I can look like a tramp, or I can look like, you know, whatever you want to look like, you can experience it for that time. And I suppose actors may have been having that experience for a while, thinking like, wow, I get to live multiple lives. And in a way, that's how I see it. It's kind of acting a part. And then you mentioned earlier about you shouldn't say tranny because it's offensive. I mean, because I know certainly in this country people would say, like, because it's quite close to transvestite, which is a...
Right, yeah, of course. So I guess transvestite, transgender...
is completely different as well.
They're completely different.
So a transvestite is a man who will enjoy wearing women's clothing.
Or I suppose a woman in man's clothing.
Yeah, I don't know about that, to be honest. I honestly don't know. Maybe there are women who... I don't know about that, actually. I've never not come across that. I mean, obviously, as I say, I've come across drag kings.
Yeah.
And I've even been to performances in London which are solely drag kings, and it's amazing. And I've actually kind of questioned my sexuality at those points. I'm going, this guy is hot. And you're going like, hang on, this is a woman, but he's really hot. And then I thought, do you know what, fuck it. Like, I think this...
What, literally?
No, well, who knows? I mean, I don't know if I'd be able to go that far. Like, they'd have to keep the tits strapped down and, like, you know, but they are...
I mean, the worry about the fish, obviously, also.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. But, you know, they stuff something down there, so, but, you know, it was obviously as soon as you reveal the cracker is what it is. But, yeah, so I love the fact that I can sort of just put it on and take it off again. And I've had to explain to my very young nieces and nephews as well, because my sister loves to show them my drag, and you know, they're very young. The youngest is 4, the eldest is 18. But you know, they've kind of been like, "Oh, what's trans? You know, what's drag?" And kind of explain it to them. And I think it's important to sort of just make that clear differentiation, which I think people are getting now.
You've already told me about your cock and balls in quite great detail. So
I apologise.
No. It's just I don't feel too bad asking you. How do you do the boobs? And also, I'm noticing because you're wearing a grey vest top that you have quite hairy armpits.
Yes, I do.
Would you shave them, or do you just?
No, I quite like Jordan likes leaving his hairy chest. I like leaving my hairy pits, but I've been somewhere before, and I've been feeling the fantasy. I've been walking around feeling gorgeous, doing my dancing, and then I've had like someone come up to me and say like, "You didn't shave your pits." Like, there's like, you know, people like to throw this phrase that you're not doing drag if you're not. There's this drag queen from RuPaul's Drag Race called Alaska who had this song called "If You're Not Wearing Nails, You're Not Doing Drag," and it kind of made this thing, and then suddenly. Like kind of like some kind of like sticklers for like, some people think drag is this, but the answer is drag is whatever you want it to be, of course. Right. And someone says, well, you haven't shaved your pits, so you're not really doing drag. It's like, well, no, well, it's not about that. It's really not about that. It doesn't matter. I can have my bloody cock out and do whatever. I can still call it drag.
Well, I suppose that's for you. I mean, I'm sure there's people who take other things from drag, but for you, it does seem very much about not obeying the strict rules of society and the constructs that you operate within, and the freedom and liberation of doing that. So I suppose to then apply rules to something that you're enjoying because of the freedom kind of undermines it.
Yeah, you just kind of feel like if someone comes up to you and says something like that, you just feel like you don't get it. And do you know what I'd love to do? I'd love to put them in drag, whatever drag to them might be, and that's the thing. I mean, as I say, the most fun thing for me is currently to try and kind of make myself look like a beautiful woman. But I'm looking forward to doing kind of weird and fantastical kind of things.
You've been listening to Talk the Line. Thanks so much for tuning in. You can follow us at Best Fit Music on Twitter. You can follow me at Jen Long. And please do subscribe to this podcast for a new episode pretty much every week. Thank you so much to Douglas for his time, for his wigs, for his Prosecco. If you would like to leave us a review of this podcast, then please do. It really helps us, and it would be great to know what you think. Until next week, goodbye.